Hey guys, yeah, I just got dropped off by the bus at 7:32 p.m. on this Tuesday evening. Of course, I am off work. I am off tomorrow, so I'll be able to rest up, maybe do some videos and stuff, but also just relax, and recharge my batteries before going back on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then working Monday, and then off on Tuesday. Yeah, a week from today, I will be off. And I'll be, then working on Wednesday. So basically, I'm kind of switching days and then going from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then that's it. But we'll see what happens. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about something that happened tonight with wrestling that we never thought we'd see again. But yet, because of the time of the year it is, especially for certain sports, it was bound to happen. And of course, I'm talking about tonight being the fact that we did get the Tuesday Night War. That's right, the Tuesday Night War between AEW and WWE NXT. And both shows, both programs, really just packed, themselves to the gills. Hold on for a second. Well, like I said, both shows basically packed themselves to the gills tonight with some phenomenal matches and segments. But the question is, who will win tonight? Who will win this, one-time, awards, one-time, one-night-only war, between both companies, in their shows. And a lot of people feel that NXT is not going to win, that AEW is going to win, because, between the two, AEW, mostly Dynamite, has a far superior product. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to go against that. As far as, well-known stars and athletes and all that, I'm not going to go against that. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, hands down, with the likes of a Moxley, and an MJF and an Adam Page, who, by the way, hopefully he gets well after tonight, because he took a nasty shot from, Moxley in their match, and it basically spun him around, knocked him out. It looked like, legitimately knocked him out. That he had to basically be stretchered out of the ring, for his own safety. They had to basically remove the bottom rope and stretch him out of the ring. So thoughts and prayers go out to him, and hopefully he'll be all right. But that's never really a good thing to see. Basically, you have the likes of a Moxley, a Page, an MJF, a Chris Jericho, and so on and so forth. A Claudio, an Acclaimed, a Keith Lee, a Swerve Strickland, all that. You got all these names, if you will, that are well renowned throughout wrestling, because of their ties elsewhere, or because of the fact that AEW is taking a chance on them. They are so renowned that you would think, like I mentioned, hands down, AEW is winning. They are winning this, one night only Tuesday Night War. Like I said, you would think, that's a foregone conclusion, but here's what makes me worry. Here's what makes me worry, guys. The fact that fans, sorry about that. But here's what's got me worried. The fact that fans, whether they're diehard AEW fans or just overall, hardcore or even casual wrestling fans that are, accustomed to AEW Dynamite being on Wednesday nights, Here's what I worry about. The fact that because they're so accustomed to it, they might not even know, despite the fact AEW promoting it, on the last week on Wednesday night and last Friday on, Rampage, despite the fact that they promoted the heck out of it, even through the YouTube shows like Dark and Dark Elevation and the control centers and all that, and the Road 2 series as well. You would think AEW, won't have a problem, annihilating, AEW in the wars. You don't think they would have a problem doing that, right? You don't think that would be an issue, but here's the thing. It might be. Because of the fact that fans are so accustomed to AEW being on Wednesday nights instead of Tuesdays. But we know basically why they're on Tuesday nights right now. Well, or at least for this week, they're on Tuesday night. They're on Tuesday night due to the fact that, essentially, there's some homes already decked out for Halloween. They've been like that for weeks. But anyway, essentially, it's, like I said earlier, it's that time of year. It's baseball season. It is baseball season. And because it's, not just baseball season, it's baseball playoff season. And because of that, and TBS's, Turner's, commitment to broadcasting baseball, on their network, especially during the playoffs, with the NLDS and the, I think, what are they going to get, the NLCS or something? Because they have that commitment, a lot of the programs have to be shuffled. A lot of programs have to be shuffled, and thus AEW ends up in that mix of programs that have to be reshuffled from a schedule standpoint. Now, I'm not saying that AEW won't get a good rating tonight, and I'm not saying, they won't beat NXT. History is probably bound to repeat itself. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think, unlike before, where they would annihilate NXT on Wednesday nights on a weekly basis, this is going to be a lot closer, than anybody could imagine. This is going to be a lot closer than anyone can imagine. To the point that when the ratings come out, yes, AEW might win, if not will win, but it'll only be by a slight margin. And the reason for that is because people are so accustomed to AEW, being, on Wednesday nights and not Tuesday nights. So, yeah, they will get the slight edge. They will get the slight victory, just like before. And there's a house over there that's already decked out for Halloween. Been that way for over a month or so now. But like I said, basically, I don't doubt that they won't succeed. It's just, it's not going to be like it was before. It's not going to be a foregone conclusion kind of deal. It's not going to be a landslide kind of deal. What it's going to be is just, a barely deal. It's just going to be like, they just, beat, NXT by a slight margin or something like that. And it's all because of the fact, that guy didn't even give that guy time to barely turn. But it's all due to the fact, I'm just watching what walks here across, but it's all basically due to the fact, like I said, that fans and folks are accustomed to AEW Dynamite being on Wednesdays. I mean, we've seen what's happened when they move Dynamite to different nights. Either it's Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights. We've seen what's happened. We've seen the ratings drop, and that's when they're not against anything WWE related. The ratings still drop. So again, who comes out on top of the ratings war? Look, I'll say it right now. I do believe AEW will get the victory for this one night only ratings war that they have against WWE and NXT. But I don't think it'll be like before. I don't think, like I mentioned, I don't think it's going to be a foregone conclusion. I don't think it's going to be a massive landslide or anything, no. Or it's going to be basically a blowout. I think it's going to be by a very, very slight margin that they get it. And it's all because they had to move Dynamite from Wednesday to Tuesday because of the MLB playoffs and basically the NLS, I believe, Championship Series. That's why they had to do it. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be talking about this right now and wondering, will AEW once again beat NXT in a huge blowout, massive landslide way? We wouldn't be talking about this. Instead, we'd be talking about something else. We'd be talking about how they're trying to improve NXT and all that. We'll be talking about how this is the go-home edition of NXT to Halloween Havoc, and it's chock full of main roster talent. Things like that. So, it's one of those situations to where if it wasn't for, Turner, for the WBD's commitment to MLB, to the MLB, Major League Baseball, and the playoffs, basically this one night only Tuesday night war between both AEW and NXT, wouldn't even be a talking point right now. It would not be a talking point right now, period, and who was going to win the ratings war. But since it is, and because of that commitment, I am going to say, yes, I do believe AEW is going to win, but I think they're going to win by a very slight margin because people and fans, and I know I'm repeating myself here, and I know that annoys people at times, and I do apologize, but it's mainly because of the fact that folks are so accustomed to NXT, not NXT, but AEW being on Wednesday nights with Dynamite and not on Tuesday nights where NXT's at. So that's just how I see it. So basically, in the end, that's how I see it. I do believe AEW will win, but just by a slight margin. Now you might say, well, why didn't they just go to Thursday night? Who's to say they couldn't? Because of the baseball schedule, and now you get the NBA back. So, yeah, it's one of those situations to where they're really going to have to work around readjusting and shuffling their decks. Could they have done Thursday nights if they were open? Absolutely. But I think Tony Khan wants to have but if this is a move Tony Khan decided to make and not just, the Warner Brothers people or Warner Brothers Discovery people, I think Tony will take any opportunity to get one little slight victory over WWE, even if it's, a victory that he has to, basically gain because he has to reshuffle his show to a night nobody's accustomed to, and even if it's a slight victory by just a tiny bit. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Overall, who do you think will win? Do you think AEW will have a slight victory tonight because of the unusefulness of the scheduling? Let me know down below. And I will talk to you later, guys. I am home now. And until then, I am out.